What's going on, Scotty from the Breakevens, giving you another AFL Supercoach video today. We're continuing on with our last tier list for preseason 2025. We're going to go through the rookies, and basically, I'm going to rate them on if they're field options, bench options, or just completely avoid. Nice and simple. Before we get into that, though, if there are any videos you may have missed, there's been over 60 videos so far this preseason, with one more to go. Make sure you go check them out, give them a like, and subscribe to the channel because we've hit 200 subscribers. Thank you to everyone who have subscribed and supported the channel over the years. Road to 300, sorry. Let's get that going. Also, if you are yet to join the Breakevens Supercoach League, make sure you do so by using code 266136. Once again, that is code 266136. And of course, you can hit me up on X at Breakevens Pod or on Facebook, The Breakevens. That all said and done and dusted out of the way, let's head over to our rookie tier list. All right, so here we have it. I have all the rookies down here. Hopefully, I can remember who they all are because, yes, I know the names. Sometimes I don't know the faces, but we'll see how we go. But yeah, as I said at the start, we're going to rate them on field, bench, and avoid options. This is of the 9th of March. This is being recorded. So opening round has finished the two games. So a few of these players we might know a little bit more about than others, but let's get into it anyway. First up is Harry Boyd from St Kilda. With Max King potentially out, means Marshall, if fit, because we know he's under an injury cloud. If fit, Boyd's going to play. If Marshall is out anyway, he's going to play. So I am saying that he is a bench option, Harry Boyd at R3. Next is Bo Allen, which is a tough one because at 136k in defense, he's been that guy for us all season. Yep, you just put him in because he's going to play. He is going to play, but he dropped the negative 12, which isn't great. So I'm not expecting for him to do that at all, ever again. Just first game nerves. Who knows what happened? So he's not a field option, and I don't think he's an avoid as an avoid if you wanted to, but I think that's a bit unfair. So Bo Allen goes in at bench. Yes, half his body got cut out for some reason. Next is Jed Buslinger from the Doggies. This is a tough one because from what I remember, he didn't play in the practice match, did he? So the Dogs have a few injuries in defense that they got injuries you know, in general, but in defense they've got a couple and thought he might have got a game. So he didn't, unless anything happens. I think he's an avoid for now, which is unfortunate. Dan Curtin at 158k as a forward. He's got that job security there. It's just what role will he play? Is he going to be forward? He's going to be behind the ball. He's going to get a run through the midfield. He played the practice match up forward, so it means he's not a field option. He would be a bench option. I don't think a void. He's going to make cash, and all it takes is one spike game, and then he's on his way. So he's a bench option. Next up is Sam Davidson from the Bulldogs, 113k forward. He is a field option. He played on the wing in the Pracky game, scored 85. He has to be on your field, in my opinion. I don't think anyone's really going to take his role. He's going to work up and down that wing, get on the scoreboard as well. So Sam Davidson is a field option in that forward line. Next up is Elijah Hewitt, which is a tough one because he's been a field option for us this whole preseason. After the non-official practice games, he had a bit of quad soreness. Hasn't really trained except for the other day. We heard a couple of days ago that he's unlikely for round one. But then yesterday we heard that he could get up for round one. So he's not a field option. He is a bench. I don't think he's in a void just because when he's fit, I think he comes straight in. So I wouldn't be too disheartened just having him on the bench if he misses round one. Next is Saad Al Hawley, someone highly touted the early parts of pre-season, was looking good, but then just went quiet. And unfortunately, he hasn't found himself around the best 22 at all. So Al Hawley is an avoid. And joining him is Neil Erasmus, massive sub risk. I don't see him starting in round one. Um, I think potentially he could play at some stage and be an option for us. But unfortunately for Erasmus, he is an avoid. Next is Jagger Smith, and if you don't know, he's done his ACL, so he's out for the season, which could be good for next season. We might get him pretty cheap. Next is Joe Berry from Port Adelaide. Um, Someone who's been super consistent this preseason. We've heard lots of good things, working up onto the wing, back down into the forward line, similar to Davidson. He's 140K, so you're paying up just a little bit. Um, he's guaranteed games, which is the main thing, so it's not an avoid. I think he is a bench option, though. The forward line is a tough one, but um, if you are forced to field him, like if Hewitt doesn't play round one and isn't the sub, you've got Berry there, in my opinion, but he's definitely a good bench option. Isaac Kako, he is a definite rookie that we need at 149K mid forward. What do you do? You're probably not going to field him in the midfield, so you're probably fielding him maybe in the forward line, depending on your structure. Um, Playing that small forward, working up the ground type guy, he's going to be pretty inconsistent with his scores. He kicked 4 goals in the practice match, which was great, and he scored 80 odd or something like that, which we're very happy with. But he's not going to kick 4 goals every game. So I think he's a solid bench option up forward. Um, you could probably field him up forward if needed, if it's out of these three here. Take your pick. Next is Mitch Nevitt from Geelong. Looks to have a mid-time role in at the Cats. Is he a field option? Is he a bench? I think you can field him. I think he's going to score well enough. It's just, do you have O'Sullivan, O'Driscoll, Sardis, Ashcroft? If you've got those guys, you're probably playing them ahead. So I'm going to say he's a bench option. And at the end, I'll rate these by best option to least option. But Nevitt's in, must have. Next is Harvey Langford from the D's. I believe he's 181K. I think he's going to be there in round one. Will he be the sub? I'm not sure. If he's the sub, of course, he's an avoid. Or, if he isn't, he is a bench. What I am going to do is I want to keep him bench. Yeah. I was thinking about having him as an avoid, but I think he gets games early. If he doesn't, then he's a clear avoid. But he's probably low bench on this ranking for me. Levi Ashcroft is a field option at 185K as a midfielder. He's guaranteed games. He's not going to be the sub. He's going to get a little bit of mid time, but he's going to work up from forward into the contest anyway. He can get plenty of the ball and impact the scoreboard. He is a must field option. Xavier Lindsay, it's only fair if Langford's there that you put Lindsay here. He's about 156, 158K mid from the D's. Basically, this is the same as Langford. He's around there for round one. Is he the sub? Is he does he get subbed? But he's going to be around best 22 anyway. So I'm going to put him in there. Reef McInnes, I'm going to put as an avoid. Um, he did play today and he scored, I think it was like a 50 or a 40 odd. He actually looked quite comfortable down back, but he just doesn't have the scoring there for our teams. And at 200K, you're paying top dollar for him. You want him to at least go 75, 80, and I don't think he's going to get that. So unfortunately, Reece McInnes is an avoid for me. Next is Nathan O'Driscoll. He's going to go straight onto the field. He's going to get games. He's going to get you 75 to 85 points pretty consistently. He can get on the scoreboard. He does play the wing role, so it could be a bit inconsistent, but he's a mature age guy. And if he's fit, he's in that best 22. So he's a field option. Fino Sullivan is next. He's also a field option. Someone who I haven't really spoke about because there was a lot of uncertainty about his role, and he has looked great on the wing for North Melbourne, and I think he has a spot there. So we know he is very good at football. He's similar to O'Driscoll. Is going to be maybe a little bit inconsistent. And 199K, I still think he scores enough to be a good option. So O'Sullivan's there. I think this is the year that we pay up for rookies. Ben Payton from the Swans. Yes, he's in a St Kilda uniform here, but he's at the Swans. He played on Friday night. Started off really shaky. Dylan Moore kicked a couple on him early, gave away a few free kicks, but he finished on 67, which at 133K, you could do a lot worse. He does have an early buy, which is slightly annoying, but he's a guy who's going to play. I don't think he starts as a sub. He did well enough. So if he keeps, chugging out those 60 pluses, we're going to be happy. Jackson Pryor is someone. Do you field or bench? I'm going to put him bench for now, but you could field him. So basically, Jackson Pryor has gone over from the Lions to the Dons, and has a spot in that defense. He played really, really well in the practice game. I think he scored 60 to 70 odd. So the scoring is there. He's 169K, so he's a little bit elevated, but with how poor our defensive rookies are, someone you could definitely look at. Next is Zach Reed, and he's a field option from the Bombers. He's 100 and is it 13 or 119K? So he's almost bottom dollar, and he is cemented in that side for the Bombers. He's a great mark, great one-on-one player. He's a very good kick, penetrating kick, so they might use him to use his foot skills. And I think out of all the defender rookies, he's the one you can field. Unfortunately, he does have a lot of injury problems, so we're just fingers crossed that he starts the season okay. Angus Sheldrick is next, 161K mid. I'm going to put him as an avoid. He played on Friday night. He's only scored like a 32 or something. Got subbed out. We were hoping for a lot more. He's going to be around that best 22 because Goulden and Mills are out. So he's going to be there, but he's a sub risk now. And that first score has already killed his cash gen. And at 161K, you want them to be scoring consistently. So Sheldrick is out. Sid Draper, I'm going to put as an avoid. 184K or 181, no, 190K. He is 190K midfielder from the Crows. It is looking like they're going to start him forward early. That's what I'm hearing. So a lot of forward time pushing up into the contest and a few CBAs at 190K. You've got O'Sullivan, O'Driscoll, Ashcroft, at the same price. Langford, and potentially Lindsay, who should have better roles. So unfortunately for Sid Draper, he is an avoid. And so is this guy, Josh Sin. We thought he might take that Kane, that not Kane Farrell role, that Dan Houston role. He's in the best 22, but his scoring output has been shocking. He's not taking any kick ins. So you're really looking at, a top game of 75, and most of the time you're looking around 50, 60. At 222K, that is an avoid. Josh Smiley is an avoid for now. There's potential that he plays round one, but he's going to be a little bit underdone because of, I believe it was a hamstring injury. Um, if he didn't get injured, he'd almost be a field option, if not high bench option. So, unfortunately for now, Smiley is an avoid. Sam Powell Pepper is an interesting one. I'm going to put him as a field option just because of his price. So he's 187K, I believe, or somewhere around there in the forward line, coming back from a big term injury. He's going to get games. They have, Butters is out. So does he get some mid time? I think you can bank on him to score consistently at that 65, 70 mark. But he can also have games of 85 plus. So I think he's definitely someone you can try and loophole potentially in that forward line. But forward line rookies, you could do a lot worse. So I'm going to put him as a field option for now, but could easily be a bench. Connor Stone is a bench option. Played today, scored 64 Supercoach points, playing off the halfback. He's got a spot down there. No one's going to take it from him. So took a few marks, got onto the ball. Is a really good kick. There was one of his kicks was about 45 meters, and he absolutely laced it. So definite bench option in that forward line. Toby Travali, I'm going to put as an avoid. He's around that best 22, but I feel, as a defender mid at 172K, in defense, you've got Pryor, you got Patton, you got Reed, who are all cheaper, and I think could score more than him anyway. So just a little bit too much for me, and he is a big sub risk. Next, he's been cut off a little bit, but it is Elijah Sardis. I think he is a field option, 191K. He's getting bulk mid minutes. He's looked absolutely brilliant this preseason, and I think he's going to carry that on. People are worried what's going to happen when Parrish comes back. I think there is a spot there for Sardis in that midfield. Maybe they get him inside, outside. But for now, he's going to score well. I believe he scored 95 or something in the practice game with very high CBAs. So put him in there. And this is James Leake. Going to put him as a bench option. 119K defender for GWS. Played again today, 63 Supercoach, which isn't too bad, but there is a little risk. He had the lowest time on ground for anyone who wasn't sub affected. Lowest time on ground. We saw him up forward majority of the first half, then started to get around the ball. Did okay, and then kicked a goal, which boosted his score. So he's a sub risk now. So just keep an eye on that for next week. But for now, he is a bench option. Now that is everyone. So I'm going to do the best field options in order. So Sam Powell-Pepper is definitely back there. Reed is back there. O'Driscoll is there. I'm pretty happy with that. So that, yeah. So I'm going to put Levi as the best field option just because it is a bit cheaper. He's guaranteed games. He's absolute gun. Sardis, the reason I didn't put him first is what happens when Parrish does come back. O'Sullivan is going to get games. Same with Davidson, his role there. O'Driscoll and Reed, I've put a little bit further back just because their scoring output could be a little bit less than these guys, and a little bit more inconsistent. And Pal Pepper there, because he could easily be a bench option, but forward rookies, aren't great. So now the bench options, I'm gonna go Nevitt there, definitely. Then there, there for now. Dan Curtin at the end. I think Leaks above these guys. I'm liking that. So I'm going to go Nevitt up first because I think he has the highest scoring potential out of everyone. He's going to be very consistent. Harry Boyd looks to be going to get games early. At not 99k, that enabler for us. Pryor's going to do a great job down in defense for the Bombers. Patton and Stone, you could easily swap them. They're gonna, churn out those 60s. Hewitt, if he plays, is going to score very well if he plays that midfield role, which we're expecting. Kako is the X Factor guy. Going to get games. He's going to fluctuate, but after 4 goals, he looks good. Joe Berry is, he's going to have games where he scores 30, but he's going to have those better games as well. So I put him there. Leak is a little bit of a worry with a potential subbing next week, but he's pretty good for a 60. Bo Allen, I've put ahead of these other guys just because I know he's going to get consistent games. That -12 does hurt a little bit. Dan Curtin, I've put here because I think he's going to play a majority forward. He's going to get games though, so that scoring output isn't quite there. And these two Melbourne boys, I've put there for now just because I think there's better options around their price and they are massive sub risks. They're going to be around the best 22. It's just, does one play? Do they both play? And who starts at sub? Who knows? Avoids, we're going to go least avoid to the most avoid. Well, most avoid obviously is Jagger Smith, just because he's done an ACL. Erasmus there. El Hawley there. Probably there, I think is fair. And then Buzzlinger there. Smiley can go in there. Travalia there. Yeah. So least avoid Sheldrick. He started the game, but I think he's a sub risk now. So that's why he's an avoid. And that low score is in his system. Josh Sin is going to get games, which is good. His role can potentially score well, but we're just not seeing it. So I've put him there. Reef McInnes, again, roles there. Best 22 is there. The scoring isn't. Sid Draper is going to get games early, but be stuck up forward. Travalia, we have no clue what's going to happen with him. Is he going to play? Is he the sub? Smiley's coming back from injury. I think he still gets games before any of these guys. So Erasmus, contract year. I think he's a big sub risk. Boslinger should get games throughout the year. Al Hawley, I just don't see him anywhere near best 22 at the moment, and Smith with the ACL. So that's my rookies tier list. Tell me what you think. Is there anyone I missed? I tried to get as many relevant players as possible. If you want to know about a certain player, let me know down below in the comments, and I will respond as soon as possible. But that is it for the rookie tier list. And that is going to do it for today's video. So thank you all for watching and listening. If you have missed any of the other videos, make sure you go check them out. Give them a like and subscribe to the channel. We are on road to 300 subscribers. If you're yet to join the AFL Supercoach League, use code 266136. That is 266136. And hit me up on X, the Breakevens Pod, or on Facebook, the Breakevens. I'll be back here again tomorrow with my final video of preseason, my team reveal. So make sure you look out for that one. So with that all done, out the way, I'll be back here again tomorrow. One last preseason video. So until then, it's bye for now.